My name is Caitlin, and this is my monologue. Do you see this ring? No, it's not what you think. I'm not engaged. I actually bought this ring for myself. In fact, I paid too much for it. But it's the best bargain that I've ever bought. Do you know why? Because it reminds me of me. Let me tell you how I came to buy it. So, I was on a date. It was my first date with this guy, and he was so hot. We had just had a delicious meal at a really, really nice restaurant, and it was so romantic. The lights were low, there was a lot of hand holding and getting acquainted, and it was really going well. And as he was paying for the bill, he turned to me and he asked me if I wanted to check into the motel room that was next door. This caught me a little off guard, but after such a nice meal, I didn't think I could say no, so I said, sure. On our way to the motel, there was a bunch of street vendors up and down the sidewalk, and I stopped at one of the tables to admire some of the jewelry. My date went ahead, and he was looking at a painter who was painting a nature scene on the bottom of an ashtray. Anyways, I saw this ring, and it struck my eye, and I picked it up and I tried it on. Nice! How much? $30, said the street vendor. $30? For a hunk of metal and a piece of rock? The street vendor smiled and said, using cheap words to describe something doesn't make it cheaper. It just makes it seem cheaper to you. And then he said something that really surprised me. He said, you may not know it by looking at it, but that ring right there is used. Well, I said, that should make it even less expensive. And then he asked me, would you have known that the ring was used if I hadn't told you? Well, actually, I couldn't tell. But, I mean, it's used. It's not worth as much. I'll give you $20 for it. $40, he demanded. Wait a minute, you started at $30. That's right, he said. And then he said something that I'll never forget. He said, the value of something is always set by the owner. So, I bought the ring, and I paid the higher price. And then I went over to my date, and I told him that I had changed my mind and that I wouldn't be going into the motel with him after all. What? Why not? Because I bought this ring. You don't have to worry about money. I'll pay for the motel room. No, you don't understand. The vendor, he reminded me that I've been using cheap words to describe something that's very valuable to both God and to me. But using cheap words to describe something that's valuable doesn't make it cheaper, it just makes it seem cheaper. I don't understand. This ring, it's a constant reminder to me that something and someone, the value of both of them is set by the owner. In the past, I've been using really cheap words to cheapen my self-worth, but from now on, my self-worth is set by my owner. And my self-worth just went up. I'm worth it. Thank you.